having recently come to a resolution to do something about the encroaching lizard folk threat to the Silver Spear Glades, our intrepid band of adventurers set forth under the guidance of a recently returned ally in the form of a lizard folk by the name of Hask. He requested the party's aid in bringing about a resolution to this lizard folk threat that does not involve the slaughter of the lizard folk themselves. He requested their aid in infiltrating the home of the lizard folk to where their leader, one that the party has only heard to referred as Otum, resides.
Doom.
After resolving themselves along the safest route, the party has descended the cliff face that seems to divide the northernmost portion of this island and a small fringe of forest, but from their view from the top of the cliff, they could see how the old growth of the forest rapidly gives way to more sparsely populated areas of trees. They go from kind of covering large swaths of the ground into small pockets here and there with land in between, with an increasing amount of water suffusing to the earth. Further to the north, there was visible areas of visible marshland with tall grass and visible patches of water. As the party descended the cliff, they spotted on the way down a couple of figures, indistinct and difficult to make out from their vantage point. However, upon reaching the foot of the cliff and deciding to head in the direction of what they had spotted, they noticed a group of figures moving towards them, coming from the eastern portion along the edge of the cliff. You know what? We'll take it from there. If memory serves, Morris, you had decided you were going to just await their arrival. What is everyone else doing, knowing that? Okay, make a stealth check.
Morris was going to crack his neck.
Yes, I crack my neck in preparation.
I'm still flying.
Yes, you are still in owl form.
Yeah. I'm still hanging out then.
All right, so you get a moment to position and prep yourself because you know the enemy is coming. So you can fly 40 feet, so you can maneuver yourself to somewhere within 40 feet of where you are. Honos, did you make your stealth check? Yep. Yes, you did. That's a nice stealth check. Okay.
Are the squares accurate?
In order to be stealthed, the squares should be accurate. Anything within the hashed green lines is tree canopy, and the brown circles are trunks.
I couldn't tell if it was vomit or spinach with chocolate chips, but that made it clear.
I would like to stay stealthed as well.
Okay, make a stealth roll, and in order to be stealthed, you need something to visually block you. Yes. So you have to be able to get somewhere capable of stealth.
Correct.
Okay, so Honos is behind that tree.
It has to be within 30?
Yes, it has to be within your movement. So unless you can enhance your movement somehow.
Well, we're not in combat yet, are we?
You are not in combat yet. This is basically the round before combat begins. So I'm going to give you 1 round's worth of movement, action, stuff like that. So you have the chance to prep now. You know the threat is coming.
I'm going to center myself between the trees.
Would I be able to take 1 move to get to here and then 1 move to get to, here?
You could take your action to do that, yes.
For my 1...
Because you moved and then you dashed to get there.
Oh yeah, I can dash.
Correct.
So
and then the round's going to start next turn, or
and then we're going to roll initiative.
Okay. Yes, then that's what I want to do.
I'm gonna sit further back out in the open to sort of funnel them into our hiding people.
Where are they coming from?
The east.
They are coming from the east.
Assuming north is due north, right? Like
Well,
up.
to the south
North is
is
usually
the
north.
is the foot of the cliffs where there are many
Okay.
jagged rocks that protrude
Alright.
forward from the cliff face. The tree growth not able to find anywhere to grow actually stops up to a certain proximity of the cliff face, and essentially halts there because of the inhospitable terrain.
I'm
Okay.
impressed with the rock drawing.
Thank you.
It's very good. I'm gonna move into this tree.
But the chocolate chip spinach isn't as appetizing.
I land in the tree
God damn it.
like a little baby bird.
Forgive him, huh?
Husk is going to back up behind this tree. And Mendardis is going to dash to get behind this tree here. Okay, so Morris, you are standing alone.
Yeah, I don't
Within
think
the
I can roll
clearing.
very good stealth anyways. Actually, I think the reason I'm standing alone in the clearing is because I rolled like a
I
1 on my
didn't
stealth.
roll
Yeah, I need a
stealth.
stealth roll, so I need a stealth roll from Theon, and I got to roll one for Husk and for Mendardis.
Stealth.
Get ready, boys. Battle axe at the ready.
Why don't you guys like switch to like your player so when they do the roll it says your player instead of your name?
What?
What?
Like
At
for
the
me,
bottom
when I
in the chat
roll,
window,
it's-
you can change what you present your text as.
that way it doesn't say like Steve Z. Yeah, see?
Huh.
Thank you, Kieran. Now we know that there's gonna be a druid coming.
What?
Or who was that talking? Oh wow, a druid can be picked by anybody? Why is that?
I think it's just one of the few that I've left open, so I'll eliminate it if people abuse it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh,
So,
the druid's
no.
typing again.
Okay.
Okay, please,
Okay.
no more of that. All right. That was weird. I couldn't zoom into the window for a little while. Okay.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Alrighty, it's now time to roll initiative, everybody.
Woot woot.
Actually, you know what? No, let's build it up a little bit. All right, so everyone has a few moments to scatter amongst the nearby foliage and do their best to try and prepare for the approach of the figures. What is a notable first? And actually, tell you what, why don't everybody make a perception check? We'll see who notices. Theon does not notice.
I noticed that I'm
Oh
looking at
my
a tree.
God.
I am looking at a tree right now, guys.
How does this keep happening to you?
I have 1 level of exhaustion HPG.
Yes, you do. So that is with disadvantage. Perception.
Oh shit. Yeah, maybe our saving grace right there.
Okay, so Morris, Sorwin, you notice this, and Mendardis says this aloud, that he can hear approaching heavy footsteps. A large animal is coming.
Maybe it's a moose.
and you begin to hear this kind of thundering of heavy footfalls.
Do Moosin live in this forest?
Make a nature check.
Moosin.
Look at that, double 17, same as the last.
Ah.
Wow.
It's stuck in a bug. Anybody who rolls now rolls 17s.
I doubt it.
How's your intelligence so high? Jesus.
Morris got some pretty good stat rolls.
Morris ain't no stupid.
He's just not very likable.
I know
Stupid
I'm
ain't no
pretty
Morris.
Pedwin likes him just fine.
But Pedwin's not here anymore.
dumb. My guy's kind of the dumb one.
Oh no, it's a gay lizard.
What?
Oh
It's
my
a gay
God.
lizard.
Where do you see this?
It's a gizzard.
I think we're supposed to just infiltrate.
Storm the gate.
Storm the gate!
Yeah, well, Big Mo is kind of throwing a wrench into that.
Against all odds.
Big Mo's gonna get killed by Big Pink.
Infiltrate! Storm the gates!
What are you quoting?
Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Okay.
He's gonna
It's-
fill you with mayonnaise.
It's gargle mayonnaise.
All right. So as the
Like
sound of heavy
Phil.
footfalls approaches with a roar of almost unnatural ferocity, this large hulking figure leaps up using leverage off of a large fallen tree trunk, hurling itself forward and landing a good 15 feet off of the trunk, using its remaining action to run another 15 feet. And what is before you is something that is grotesque. It resembles a lizard folk, but there are bulbous protrusions, large clusters of muscle that seem to be contracted and contorted unnaturally. The teeth that it bears are mismatched, some of them broken, various sizes. It's almost discordant. It doesn't seem to have any organized jaw structure. The eyes are wide and black and feral and searching all around. And you can hear this heavy huffing as it's breathing in and out in a rapid pace, trying to essentially search the area as thoroughly as it can. Oh, no, it has advantage on that.
By the way, I'm not sure if you realize this, HPG, but the tokens are pivoted towards a corner.
What
What?
do you mean?
The guys are like they're
Nobody
centered on
cares.
a line.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. What was Hono's stealth? Oh, you're 25. Okay, you're fine. All right.
It just thinks that I'm a bird, right?
You appear as an owl, or as a bird, right, or an owl?
Owl, yeah. Owl specific.
So yes, it seemingly doesn't register you as anything of interest. It seems to be very intently focused on the man standing in front of
The
it.
one person standing in front of it, right?
But as it seems to sniff the air around it, it seems to swing its head to the left and stare at a nearby tree, as if it kind of perceives something else.
No,
I lift my arms to dull its senses of everything else. I don't conform to social norms, so I don't take showers.
All right, and one lizard folk that seems to have followed behind it, but keeping some distance from it, actually runs into the nearby trees.
Die.
How tall is this thing?
It is basically shoulder to shoulder, or kind of its broadest measure if you're looking at it from face on, would be about 5 or so feet wide. So it's a very big hulking creature, and unlike the lizard folk you've encountered, which walk upright and bipedal, this is quadrupedal. It's running on all fours, and its hands are grotesque and malformed, and there appear to be extra vestigial digits that are kind of malformed and not working properly. You see as it moves and kind of scrapes into the ground that these digits don't move in the right way. They're not effective.
What a great band name.
Does it look like the things that we faced back last time we fought lizard people, where they were riding lizards?
The lizard folk you encountered riding the lizards they seemed to be adorned in red leathers, and they were particularly large, but they were no larger than your average humanoid. This creature is distinctly different.
Okay, so this isn't like the things they were riding.
No, this
Okay.
is not at all. This seems to be some weird variation on a lizard folk. You're really not certain what's going on. And now it's time for initiative rolls.
I'd say that's a bad guy.
How tall is it?
Off the ground, it sits about 7 feet at its highest. So
Let
like
me
kind of the
go-
upper point of its back, it's about 7 feet. And well, I shouldn't even tell you this until you do a perception check, but whatever.
Let me get out
Lengthwise,
my
it's about
tape measure and measure it.
it's about like 9 feet lengthwise.
Okay.
So far, nobody's rolled. Okay, there's the first roll above 10.
You did.
Well, I rolled an 8. I have a +8.
Oh,
I
wow.
rolled a 2.
It's cool you get +2 initiative.
I could add my charisma to my initiative rolls.
Wouldn't they make it so when you hover over the icon, it highlights the icon on the board?
I think that's always been like that.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, this is set to the wrong thing. That's not good. Sorry, I just got to find something here real quick. Where is... Okay. So, the hulking creature looking around, seemingly perceiving something nearby, but settling its eyes on the one easy target in front of it. It barrels forward.
Oh, and you're not centered on it.
Oh, you're right. I'm not centered on it. All right. Well, it's out of your movement range, so realizing it cannot reach you, it's going to take an action anyway. Well, it's going to take a dash no matter what, so it is going to head towards the nearest creature it can see.
Oh, man.
It is going to
Which is
run
me.
straight forward.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
So that was 60 feet. Okay, no, so it's just you, Morris. Okay, so this creature charges forward, barreling on all fours, as it gets increasingly close to you, and as it's bearing down on you, it lets out this roar, this guttural, bestial, feral noise. I need you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, I can't yawn. This is gonna be bad because I'm at disadvantage.
This guy's gonna
You're not at disadvantage.
bite you in the
Throws,
nuts.
just ability checks.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think saving throw disadvantage is level 3.
Okay. I'm not going to argue that. I very
I mean,
much
I can
agree.
check.
Yeah, you're right. 3 is attack rolls and saving throws.
I thought. All right, so as this creature roars, you, for a brief moment, the thought that like this might really hurt if I just keep standing here, it kind of enters your brain for a moment, and then you shake it off. You're like, no, it won't. And the momentary fear that clutches at you is not enough to grip your mind, and so you're able to shake it off and ready yourself for battle.
Can I yawn?
Sure, you can yawn. You can take your bonus action to yawn.
No, I'm not going to take my bonus action. Never mind.
That's fine. You yawn. Okay, this lizard folk is going to move up to the cover of the trees. Seemingly does not notice anything in front of it.
There's some spooky tweez.
It's going to get just out of cover enough to see. So Theon, this lizard folk, moves forward and makes eye contact with you as it basically starts to move around the. It essentially was moving at the trunk you were at, and essentially you almost bumped into you, and then is going to make an attack. Yeah, it can finish covering the distance. All right. So it is going to reach forward and is going to swing at you with this heavy wooden club. That is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
And then as it follows up with the attack on the club, it lunges forward with its jaws and snaps down on your forearm. That is a 23 to hit.
That hits.
They both deal max damage. You take 16 points of damage. It's combined for bludgeoning and piercing for the 2 attacks.
How the fuck does it roll?
Damn.
How the fuck does it roll 22 and 23? Holy shit.
It rolled an 18 and a 19.
You said 16 points of damage, right?
Yes, so with the combined club and the bite is 16 points of damage together. Now, I think, I mean, well, you can still use shield as your reaction to see if that would deflect it.
No, I was already looking at that. It doesn't.
Okay. All right, so that is going to end that lizard folk's
Unless
turn.
if you're going to add cover.
No,
no
you did not
cover
have
for
cover
melee.
from this.
Okay. No, that's right. No cover for melee. Well, that sucks. I forgot to increase my health by 1 every time I've leveled. So
Okay,
that
add it
should be
now.
okay. Oh no. I'm not sure if I added it for the first 3 that when we first started or not, so I'll leave it as is.
Well, you can calculate it pretty simply.
Yeah, are you sure you want to do that? Because you just got fucked out.
Yeah, you should give yourself all the health you need.
Well, I mean, I don't know how to calculate it up. I mean, I have a
It's your hit
constitution
dice
modifier
plus
of 2.
your hit dice, your full hit dice plus your constitution modifier for level 1, and then it's half your hit dice plus your constitution modifier for each level after level 1.
Assuming he didn't roll for his health.
I didn't, not on this one.
So then, yes, you would have taken the average and you would have added your Constitution modifier every level.
Is
So you're
hit dice
level
an
4
8?
now.
Okay, yeah, it should be at, because 26. I have 27 right now. I have 4 hit dice for a d6, 16. Constitution modifier is 2.
Okay,
Level
so
4.
every level that you gained, you would have gained the average of your hit dice, which I think for a D8 is what, 5?
He said D6.
A D6?
Yeah,
okay, so
I
that's
have a
3 for the
D6
average
hit
then.
die. Yeah,
Or is it 4?
It's 4.
I think it's 4.
Okay, so you would have gotten 4 plus 2 every level.
So 6.
So you would have, and you've leveled 3 times, right? Because you went from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4.
Yep.
Right, so you would have gained 6 each time. So from your initial, which would have been, what, 8 plus
8
your
plus-
con mod, which is 2, so 10. So it would have been 10 plus 16 to 26.
No, it's the hit dice is 6, so it's 6 plus 2, which is 8.
Oh, okay.
Then plus 6 for each level.
Okay, so 8 plus 18.
26.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it worked out fine.
so I have 27 right now, so I guess I realized that.
Well, you
must
must have
rolled
rolled at
once.
one point.
So
I
just leave it.
I know I looked at it. No, I actually did not roll for health on
Oh,
this
then you-
character.
Okay, then you have 26
I
health.
I think I added it for the one time, and I gain 1 health per level that I gain as well.
You do?
From what?
Yeah, for Draconic Resilience.
Oh, really?
At first level, your hit point maximum increases by 1, which is what I think I did, and increases by 1 again whenever you gain a level in this class.
So then you would have gained a total of
To-
plus 3 to that, so
yeah,
you would
so
be at
30.
29.
Wouldn't it be
26 plus 3.
4?
30?
Well, because
Maybe-
I thought it was
Oh,
at
yeah,
every
yeah,
level
yeah,
after first.
Yep.
Including the first.
Oh, including first. So then yes, it's plus 4, so that is 30.
Yeah.
So your total hit points are 30, and you've taken 16 points of damage, so you're at 14.
It's all irrelevant. He'll be dead next round anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Please don't say that. Although we'll see. So what you also notice, Theon, as you are receiving the attacks from this creature, you notice out of the corner of your eye a second lizard folk that has been skulking along the side. However, this one has already committed itself to trying to dart into cover. It seems to be homed in on something else and gets itself behind a nearby tree.
By the way, if you're afraid of like killing somebody, don't be, please.
No, I
okay.
can't baby anybody.
Drac wants to re-roll his character already.
All right, Honos, you're up.
No, that's-
Also, what are you gonna do, Honos?
Let's see. I'm going to get within dagger distance, then throw a dagger.
Okay, what are you throwing a dagger at?
Mr. Only guy I can get into dagger distance with.
Okay. Dagger distance is 20-60, right?
Yeah. So I want to get him within
Okay.
20.
So you got to move forward. Where are you going to move?
There? I think that's 20.
Okay, make your attack roll.
That's 25. And that's 20 of my movement.
All right, you take your dagger out and you throw it, tossing it up into the air in a moment before catching it and then hurling it at the target. Pretty easy to hit target. It's a fairly big creature, and it is currently focused on something else other than you, so it's not trying to dodge. The dagger sinks into its form, but where it hits, it's nearby to a patch where the scales of this creature have actually cracked and broken away, and there are kind of bloody fissures that seem to meld into a different kind of flesh, where there is a wet, matted, almost like a thick, coarse fur in small patches on this creature. And
Also
it
sneak
seems
attack.
so it seems to ripple and recoil from the attack. Now, sneak attack counts as physical damage, right?
I don't know what it counts as. I would assume it counts just it adds on to the piercing.
Yes, but it still counts as piercing damage. Like, it's still physical damage.
Yeah,
There's
it's still
nothing.
physical,
Okay.
non-magic damage.
All right. Just wanted to make sure.
Well, actually, I think it would be magic damage if. Yeah, I think it just straight adds on to the damage whatever weapon did it.
Oh, so
if it's-
whatever. Okay, so in this
So-
case, it's non-magical piercing because
Yeah.
the dagger is non-magical.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Good to know. All right. So the dagger embeds itself in this flesh and connects and you see it connect, but it doesn't seem to penetrate as deeply into this creature as you thought. There's a lot of dense musculature, and while you've connected, you haven't done the damage you thought you would.
Mm.
All right, you still have 10 feet of movement.
I'm gonna move back up here.
And you have a
hide.
bonus action. You are not obscured enough to hide.
Okay. I'll just
Alrighty.
chill then.
You could use your bonus action to dash.
Bloop.
Okay.
HPG, just so you know, the health bar is showing up on the creature.
Oh, yeah? Well, let me see if I can get rid of that. Theon, you're up, by the way.
Okay.
Actually, all of them have a health bar. I don't know if it goes down if you adjust them, though.
Well, the way I do it, I actually don't detract points from the health. I count up the damage in a different way. So seeing the health bar is actually not that big a deal.
Oh, okay.
And it's
I forget I
also...
said anything.
No, it's fine. I'm glad you told me.
Okay.
Also, the health bars are pretty much just relative to the size of the icon.
That sucks. I don't think I've been. That sucks a lot. Okay. So I am first going. I'm gonna see that guy in front of me, and he used a weapon, right?
Yes, he used a wooden club, and then he snapped at you with his jaws.
Okay. Does frostbite? Because the description says they'd have an advantage on the next weapon attack roll. Does that include like hand to hand?
Yeah, you would have to use hand-to-hand to have a weapon attack roll.
Okay, but like I'm just wondering if like like a punch is considered a weapon attack roll.
A punch is considered an improvised weapon,
Okay, but it's still a weapon attack roll. Gotcha.
but it's still a weapon attack roll. Yes. Well, it's a melee attack roll. And no, it is a weapon attack roll, and your weapon is your fist. There.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna cast frostbite on the guy right in front of me.
Okay, you cast frostbite on that guy right in front of you. Do you have to make a spell attack roll, or does it just happen?
It just happens.
Oh,
but
and then he has to make a save.
Yes.
Okay. So a con save against DC 15. Rolled a 15, so makes the save. Or does he have to exceed it? Joe, do you remember?
He makes it.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe.
All right, so he makes the save. So he still takes the damage, but he is not save failure. Target takes damage, so he does not take damage then. Yeah, no harm is caused. Okay.
Nothing happens. Yeah.
All right, nothing happens. So
Okay.
that is your action. You still have your movement and your bonus action.
Can I see? Oh, I still have my movement. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Can I see the tree in front of me, which is right here?
You can see it. Yes.
The other side. Like, can I see like right here?
No, you can't see past this point because it is the furthest out point of the tree,
Okay.
and you would have no way of gaining sight past your line of sight.
Well, no, I was wondering like somewhere like here.
Oh, you mean like
yeah.
the scenery behind it? Yeah,
Yes.
you can see a very small sliver of space.
Okay, I would like to cast Misty Step.
Okay.
And I'm going to teleport behind the other tree to like sneak out from behind him and then hide behind this tree.
So you're going to teleport forward, or you're going to teleport towards Mindardus?
I am going to teleport right here
Oh, it's only 30 feet, so
and
okay.
then move down.
All right, so you bamf over to there using Misty Step.
Yes.
You should be able to move yourself.
Boom. Yep. And then I move down a space to hide
So-
away from the guys.
So Honos, or no, actually Honos, you cannot see this. Sorwin, you can see this because you're watching things from that perspective. You see Theon after receiving these two attacks from this lizard folk that emerged from a nearby tree. Theon disappears in a puff of silver smoke, and you see him reappear nearby, a little further to the east, and as he steps behind a tree, hopefully trying to avoid notice for a little while.
I hope there's not more guys coming. I'm just saying.
So it is Mindardus' turn now. And Mindardus, taking a survey of the situation, is going to step forward once and is going to attack the large hulking creature that is currently in the face of Morris Armstrong. All right, so he steps out from behind the tree and draws his short bow. Does not draw an arrow, simply grabs the strand of the string and begins to pull backwards. And as he does, appearing almost out of the air itself, a wispy kind of deep gray blue seems to coalesce in a very thin line, drawing from where his hand holds the bow to where his hand holds the string. He takes aim and fires. This bolt of energy slamming into the side of this creature. It has to make a save. I think it's a strength save or a dex save. I actually can't remember. Let me check. Strength save. So the bolt slams into the side of this creature, and it is pushed over to the side. It has to step quickly to regain its footing to prevent being knocked over. It is not knocked over. It is pushed, but not enough to actually shift its form out of its location. And it seems to turn its head to the side and look towards Mindardus and snarl. That is going to end his turn. Morris, you're up.
Hooray! Did it look like it took very much damage from Joe and Giles' attacks?
It looked like it didn't take very much damage from the dagger.
With the arrow, it looks like it was knocked back. Okay.
But when the arrow hit into it, it didn't seem to penetrate the creature very much, but the impact of the bolt of force that as it dispersed, you saw it actually tear open a chunk of flesh, seemingly with the force of the arrow itself. So there was some damage registered. Some of it was mitigated, from what you can tell. I really should have made you make an insight check into that, but whatever.
You feel happy.
I'm rusty. That's why.
Okay.
Go on. Do your turn.
All right. Well, realizing I might be in deep shit, I'm gonna go into a shit. What's it called? I don't remember what it's called.
Frenzied rage.
Frenzied rage.
You're going to a frenzied rage.
Just remember, everything has advantage on you too.
That's only
No,
if I
that's
reckless
reckless
attack.
attack.
Oh,
The
reckless,
frenzied rage is the
reckless.
thing that lets him attack on as a bonus action, but he takes exhaustion afterwards.
Okay.
All right.
So you're gonna frenzied rage?
Yeah, frenzied rage, and I think if I rage, it consumes a bonus action, right?
Yes. On your turn, it's a bonus
Alright.
action to rage.
So I'm going to reckless attack twice.
Okay, make your 2 reckless attacks.
All right, I'm happy with that, I think.
All right. So, Morris, you swing your axe in a large horizontal arc, and you catch this creature in its large, meaty arm. Again, in this kind of quadruped stance, its head bowing low and forward. As your axe swings, the light glinting off of the added silver to your axe, as it makes contact with this creature, the flesh seems to part easily as it makes its contact, and you cleave a great gouge in the side of its arm. It seems to reel back and snarl at you. Your second swing comes around and you attack the other arm from the other side. Similar effect. This one doesn't bury quite as deeply, but you still seem to have made a pretty significant impact with your weapon.
Yeah, fuck you, lizard. That's all I can do.
All right, so that's all you do. You're not going to move and you use your bonus action.
I already used my bonus action, but I'm not going to move.
Okay. Sorwin, you're up.
Okay. On the giant creature, is there any weak point that I can see, like where it's maybe the contortions are a bit too much, and it needs like I could attack that. Is it? Can I perceive that?
Make a perception check.
Yeah. I think so.
All right. So as you peer at this creature as it's been taking the damage, you can see that there are knotted contortions to its muscles where there seems to be like points that would be very rigid and don't seem to be able to move very readily and very easily. So it seems like there would be certain ranges that it would be hard for this creature to attack. But as far as making a weak point, the creature itself is very, very dense musculature, and so it doesn't seem to have any weaknesses per se. There are the patches of kind of thick fur that seem to be breaking forth through the armor, or the scaly hide of this creature, and they are bloody. They appear to be a sign of trauma, but there's nothing indicating that it's a particularly vulnerable spot.
Okay. Then I'm gonna stay in owl form here. I'm gonna move down towards it. And I want to hit it really quick, and then continue to go over here to help Drax's character.
You're gonna take
So-
quite a.
Hang on. So you're in owl form right now. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit this guy here, and
So
I don't really, yeah.
Do you want to like swoop down and hit him with your talons?
Yeah, I want to give him a little bite, and then keep moving and go to the south.
Okay. I don't think I've given you the stats for an owl, so let me bring up the monster manual real quick.
I have let's see, the attack. It's a melee weapon attack. Hold on, let me put it in here.
You have the details?
I have it in the book. I didn't write it down yet. I wonder if I did.
Yeah, I think Owl is in the player's handbook.
Yeah. D&D.
Actions, talons, melee attack, plus 3 to hit, 1 slashing damage.
Yeah.
Just one?
1.
Yeah. I'm gonna give him a little hit. Keep moving.
You are right. It is 1 damage. Okay. So make your attack roll with a +3 to attack.
How do I do
roll
that?
Just roll a d20.
and
Roll a d20 and then
3.
Oh, cool. Roll 3. Oh.
All right. So as you swoop down and you try and sink your talons into some of the musculature, where you're aiming for one of the small patches that appear to be bleeding, the creature actually contorts a little bit as it takes some of the damage from Morris, and your talons strike into a very, very thick muscle and just glance off the hide. They don't seem to make any kind of penetrating effect. As you take off, the creature, after feeling this, spins its head around and swipes at you with one of its claws.
It says for flyby, the owl provokes no opportunity attacks when it flies out of an enemy's reach.
You're right, it does. Okay, never mind. So the creature reaches out and strikes at you, but you are simply too quick, and your form too nimble and too small, and the claw passes harmlessly behind you, catching nothing but air.
Oh yeah.
All right, so where have you flown to with your 40 feet of movement?
It's 60 for flying.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yes, you're right, 60 feet,
I'll
okay.
make a little thing for this next time. Or
All right,
as soon
so
as we
it would
finish
take
this.
at least 25 to 30 to get into attack range, so then you have 30 more feet from there. So you can make it to the tree where Theon was. You could almost make it to Mindardus.
This is just like branches up here, though, right? Like this whole.
Yeah,
other-
that's like tree
Yeah.
canopy. All the hashed line is tree canopy.
All right, so yeah, I'll just go like tree canopy. Boom, right?
You're just gonna
Is
bury
that
yourself in the
40?
canopy.
Yeah, I can go. I don't know. Yeah, in the tree canopy somewhere around here.
Okay. So due to the haste of it, you don't necessarily like conceal yourself within the foliage. You just land on a branch that's over there, but you are now over there.
All right. Boom.
Okay. Make a perception check, Honos. Okay. So Honos, out of the corner of your eye, just beside the gap of the tree to your left, you do notice a figure that shifts amongst the shadows.
We're getting surrounded.
As it steps out from behind its cover, the canopy, you recognize it's definitely a lizard folk form, and it seems to be clad in just kind of cloth and fabric, and it is carrying a small staff with it, and it seems to duck as quickly as it can towards one of the trees. 30 to get there. Yeah, okay. All right. Morris, this creature in front of you, now having closed the gap, nothing between you and it lunges forward and attacks you.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun.
And you made reckless attacks last time?
He did?
No, he just went to frenzied rage. I thought.
No, I did a reckless attack. I
Oh.
did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did reckless attack.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so that is a 22 and a 26 to hit.
Both hit.
Okay, so as this creature looms above you, it rears up onto its two hind legs, standing up at full height, nearly 9 feet. It swipes forward with its claw, leaving a large rake across your chest. There is immediately deep gouges that begin to just spill forth blood. And you take 17 slashing damage from the claw.
Okay.
And as it comes down, landing on its two forelegs, it lunges forward with its jaws and clamps down on your shoulder. And you take 11 piercing damage from the bite.
So is that 28 and then I half
That
it?
is 28, and then you half it to 14.
Okay. So that means I'm... Okay.
All right, that is going to end its turn. So the lizard folk one of the lizard folk towards the southern portion of the battlefield cries out to another. Theon, you and Mindardus, you actually recognize it because you're the closest ones. You hear him say, in the trees, the owl. And the lizard folk nearest to you, Sorwin, looks up, sees you, rears back, and throws a javelin. That is an 18 to hit. What's your armor class as an owl?
11.
All right, so the javelin, he throws it forth and it pierces your form, knocking you from the branch. As you tumble down, your form reverts to that of your half-elven self, and you land hard on the ground, taking 5 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall and 5 points of piercing damage. So reduced by 1 because you had a hit point as an owl, so you take 9 points of damage total.
All right.
And you are now prone. Oh, I can't seem to add that mod. Oh, there we go. Did we discuss what a symbol was for prone? Do we have a prone symbol?
I think we
Uh,
just choose one.
Yeah, we had one, but you just chose it on the fly.
I think it was the slug. No.
No, the slug would be slowed or something.
Do the sleeping guy. Like he's like laying down to go to sleep, or the weird guy with the fucking darts in his back,
I was thinking the dude with darts in his back.
or the dude with back problems. Do that.
Yeah,
guy-
yeah. Let's do the back problems guy. Okay, all right. So from now on, prone is the back problems guy. All right. So you are now prone on the ground, and this lizard folk, having hit you with the javelin, will then rush forward. And will try and bite at you with his jaws. Now you are prone, so he gets advantage on the attack. There's a 21 to hit, which I'm pretty sure hits.
I don't know. How do I check that?
What's your armor class?
Oh, it's like 11 or something.
Okay, so yes, that connects. You take 4 points of piercing damage from the jaws as they sink into your leg. Just catches a big old meaty thigh.
Jesus.
Pretty sure we're all dead. I'm gonna consider cutting my losses. See you guys.
Yeah, right?
Wait, what are you doing?
Okay, that lizard man is going to move further along the south and throw a javelin at Mindardus. And just whiffs. The javelin sailing harmlessly and just sinking into the ground, maybe 3 or 4 feet in front of Mindardus. Kind of chuckles a little bit. Let's see. Okay, I'll consider this part of the same perception check. So Honos, you can't help but notice the movements of 2 other figures coming out of the trees near where you spotted the initial one.
Okay, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And you recognize the distinct form of 2 more lizard folk soldiers who expend their entire movement trying to get towards this group of trees. Oh, crap. I missed 1 person on the initiative order. Shit.
Are you talking about the lizard man on our team?
I am talking about Husk. I did not put him in the initiative order.
Hooski booski.
Okay, so Husk should be after Honos, so he's missed 1 turn already. So I'm going to let him take 2 now. All right, so Hosk, who's been staring transfixedly at this creature with a mixture of confusion and revulsion, seems to snap out of his stupor. And in an almost equally kind of feral and bestial tenacity, he charges at the recently spotted figures. Making it there with his action, he's going to unleash a series of attacks. So Honos, you are close enough to hear as he snarls and hisses and actually moves, it drops down along his belly and slithers along the ground, his limbs moving in a very rapid animalistic fashion. And he rights himself up against the tree and comes around and elbows one of the lizard folk right in the face. You can hear the connection of bony limb to skull as his head rears back. He follows it up by spinning his body around and slamming his fist into the center of this lizard folk's chest. You can hear the breath escape its body with now it has to make a con save. And the lizard folk itself he's definitely impacted very severely by this, but does not appear to be phased in any way that would hinder his combat capabilities. But Hosk follows up with a second round of attacks. Something funny?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, just that he got, the 2 rounds of attacks and how you played it in. It was just cool.
So Hosk spins around, planting one foot and pivoting on the ball of that foot and striking out with one leg in a kick. The creature, who's already taken a couple of hits at this point, then sees this and ducks underneath it. But as he's kind of lowered his body down, Hosk continues to spin and actually adding his momentum to his tail, smashes this creature across the face, dealing an additional 5 damage. And again, having taken the injuries, this creature has gone from doing fine and then kind of having a positional advantage to getting its ass handed to it very quickly, and is starting to seriously question whether or not it wants to be where it is right now. Okay, that will end the lizard folk soldiers' turns. Honos, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna go down and help Big Mo.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna move down to the guy and stab him in the side.
All right, make a stabby stab.
Do I have advantage because oh no, I wasn't in, never mind.
You were not concealed from this creature. It was
Yeah.
aware from you.
Yeah.
All right, so you land your attack. Your dagger sinks into the flesh. Roll sneak attack damage. Okay, so you do a collective 14. So as you sink your dagger into the side of this creature, where you catch a gout of blood just begins to pour out of it, you seem to have hit an organ. And the creature itself reels from the attack and looks towards you with this rage in its eyes. You can see there's a lot of heaviness to its breathing, and it appears to be looking pretty rough.
Is my dagger within easy reach?
The first dagger, yes, is still sticking out of the creature. You can go ahead and grab for it.
Will that cost me anything?
Are you going to use your bonus action for anything?
I was gonna dash away.
Then I would say you can either grab your dagger or dash away.
I'll dash away.
All right, you take your bonus action to disengage.
No, I take my bonus action to dash. I don't have to disengage.
Oh, that's right, because you hit it with an
Swashbuckler.
attack. Because you're a swashbuckler. That's a fucking sweet ability. Okay, yeah, you just bolt the fuck out of there. So Morris, you having taken some pretty serious hits from this creature, you notice a dart of shadow, and there's a dagger sticking into the side of this creature almost faster than you can register. And holding onto that is Honos. You see him. He's got this kind of grin on his face as he jabs it in. You see dark brown, brackish blood just spray all over his arm and the dagger as he yanks it out and then zips beside you, and seemingly in and out of the situation before either of you have actually registered what happened. He's an older fellow, but man, is he quick.
Zoom, zoom.
I use my charisma to propel me.
All right, so that was your second turn. Okay. So Mindardus, seeing his half-elven ally harried on the ground, is going to draw back and make an attack at this creature. So he once again puts his finger to the bow and draws this back, and a similar kind of coalescence of energy seems to build itself in the shape of a thin line between his two hands. He looses the bolt, and it just barely streaks across the shoulder of this creature, narrowly missing him, and impacting into the tree, blowing a chunk of splinters off of the bark, and a small hole is actually driven through the very edge of the tree itself and is kind of gouged out of its bark. There is kind of lightly colored fresh wood exposed from the impact. And he is going to remain there. He is going to put his bow away and use his full movement to get as close as he can to his downed ally, drawing two short swords as he approaches.
Ooh, that's new.
Actually, no, you know what? Let's say he draws a short sword and a shield.
Ooh, that's even more new.
All right, and that is going to end Mindardus' turn. Theon, you're up.
Okay. So, seeing my friends getting hurt over there, as a bonus action, can I quickly look this way and see if there's anything going or coming near us?
Which way are you looking?
Towards this way,
Just say north, south. Okay, so east.
east.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay, just say I want to look somewhere, and I'm going to make you make a perception check.
Yeah.
Wow.
I see grass.
You see
Oh, yeah.
figures. You see figures off in the distance. You're not sure. It might be your eyes playing tricks on you, but it's weird. It's like there might even be like hundreds of these things in the forest. You're not sure, but I mean, you're pretty sure. I mean, you're looking at it, and it looks like there's many shadowy figures moving in the trees, but they are some distance off still.
Okay, knowing my death is gonna await me anyway, going that way. I'm going to move. Am I able to see that dude, this dude right here?
Sure, you can from there. Certainly.
Yes. Okay, I am going. I'm going to cast Scorching Ray on him.
All right, make 3 scorching ray attacks.
Do it big. Bitchin'.
It's
Also,
not
Drac,
big.
I figured out how you can combine all the rolls into one panel.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
And all of them on him.
All of them on him?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, collectively is 14. All right, so Theon, you see this, and you, in a moment of fear, you decide like if you're going down, you're going to go down fighting, and you dash off. You see your ally on the ground, and you see Mindardus moving forward to try and take a defensive posture to protect him, and you channel that anger and this frustration that you feel. You point your fingers forward, and 3 jets of red-yellow energy shoot forward from your fingertips, all 3 slamming into the back of this creature that is harrying your friend, doing 14 fire damage.
Woot woot.
And there's no additional effects, right? It's just the fire damage?
Yeah, it's just the fire damage.
All right, so this
Okay.
creature is seemingly just nearly thrown off of its feet from the force of the impact and has to pat out flames before they can catch on the rest of its clothing. It turns around on a heel looking directly at you in shock and surprise, like that fucking hurt.
My hand's still smoking a little bit. I just give him like a quick wave.
You wave at the lizard folk that you've nearly incinerated. All right, Morris, you're up.
Just
Okay.
because I'm scared of like the millions of objects coming from behind me, I would like to move to here for my last movement actions.
Okay, so you finish your movement off, going through there. You've used your action, and your bonus action, I'll say, was the perception check. So that's the end of your turn. Morris, you're up.
All right. Reckless attack 3 times.
Make your 3 reckless attacks.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, the last one's a crit.
look at that crit damage.
How do you want to do this?
Can I leave
I
it
was
up
like-
to you? Is that something I can do?
Huh?
Can I leave it
Wants
up
to
to
leave
you?
it.
I like your descriptions.
Okay, sure.
Sweet.
All right, so
I haven't drank
Morris-
enough to make anything up.
Morris grabs his axe and takes a big underhand swing and catches this creature on the underside of its jaw, kind of forcing it up. But he's actually spun the axe around and is using a spike that's on the other side and actually pierces through the underside of its jaw, kind of poking up through one of the nostrils as it punctures through the bottom of the jaw of this creature. As it wants to snarl, but its jaws are actually impeded in their motion by the force of the axe. You pull it down, and with the momentum, continue it around, bringing the axe blade down. The creature kind of turns to the side as it recoils from the impact, and your axe catches it right behind the base of the skull. With your much more severe attack, you actually cleave right through the spine of this creature, and about halfway through its meaty form, there is a veritable fountain of blood that gushes forth. What you notice as you cut into this creature is the flesh parts easily underneath the hit of your axe, but the flesh itself is, whereas most lizard folk are kind of like a deep green, this is like a ruddy brown, as if something else has kind of mixed in with the natural coloration of this creature. However, this is not as prevalent on its head. This seems to be a little bit more pale by comparison, and almost has elements of kind of a gray bleeding into it.
All right. So it's dead?
It is dead, with a gurgling sound of its heart continuing to pump the last of its blood out of its body, an ever-increasing pool simply widening out from that form. It seems to give off almost like a kind of gas as it shrivels and shrinks, and the form itself not only reduces to that of a normal lizard folk size, but continues to shrivel and wither and shrink down into a very desiccated kind of husk. The coloration is still present, but it is contorted, and it appears as if all the fluid and even most of like the meat of this creature has withered in the space of 2 seconds.
Huh.
There is an agonized look on its face, as if this was an extremely painful process. Sorwin, you're up.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry, you want to do more? in your turn?
Did I hear anything going on in the north?
I'm gonna say in your frenzied rage, you know what? Make a perception check. Let's not deny you the chance.
I think it's on disadvantage too. I guess it doesn't matter.
It is on disadvantage. No, you did not notice anything going on to the north. You were
Or-
entirely focused on this creature in front of you, which has now not only been defeated, but is seemingly completely reversed to the form that it took before.
What about the south?
You can, looking to the south, you can see your friend or your ally Sorwin is knocked onto the ground on his back. He's bleeding a little from the side.
Help
And
me,
there is a
Help.
lizard. What?
man. Help me.
I was pleading for help. That was my.
I get it. I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. and you see him. So he's asking you for help, kind of reaching forward and looking at you, not noticing his nearby ally with the sword and shield drawn. And Theon has. You see the still smoking hands of Theon as he lowers his arms from pointing at this creature.
I'm gonna move down.
And you're going to use your movement to go down. Okay. That is the end of your turn. Sorwin, you're up.
How damaged is this lizard folk in front of me?
After being set on fire, there are large portions of its flesh that seem to be charred. And it went from being very happy with its position to looking for a way out pretty fast.
Okay. I'm unfamiliar with how skills work. Like, so I get like one action, one bonus, and one movement, right?
Yes. But because you are prone, to stand up is going to take half of your movement.
Okay.
So do you stand up?
Yes, I guess that I'll start with that.
Okay, you stand up. You have 15 movement left, unless you shift forms.
Yeah. No, I don't want to do that yet. Let me see here. Attacking him would be action, right?
Attacking him would be an
That's under
action.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I get one bonus too. Hang on.
You can, so with your action, you can attack, you can disengage, you can also do what's called helping, which is you can basically aid your ally. So if you did the help action to, say, one of your nearby allies, then they would gain an advantage on their next attack roll. So the idea being that you would spend your action trying to help your ally obtain a more favorable action on his turn.
Okay. I'm going to use this thing. Oh wait, I don't know how to. Oh, I want to use this shillelagh to like increase my damage because it's a bonus action, but I don't know how to like. Maybe it's just this. There we go. I cancel this. Oh. Oh, I used it twice. And then I want to hit this guy with my quarterstaff in the face.
Okay, make your attack roll.
How do I do that?
You would. So there should be on your core screen on the far right hand side, there should be categories labeled melee and ranged.
Okay.
So, okay, basically this is what you do. You roll a d20, you add your proficiency, and then you
Mhm.
add your charisma modifier to the attack roll because you're doing shillelagh.
Okay. So so I roll 1d8,
Or, sorry, wisdom in your case, not charisma, wisdom.
and my wisdom modifier is
Shillelagh.
+6. So I roll 1d8 plus 3.
You have to roll
Is that how
20
that works?
first.
No, roll your d20.
Okay. With no modifier.
Oh, for now, we're not doing a modifier. Roll your d20.
Okay.
Okay, so your proficiency is +2. I think, because you're level 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you would add 2 to that, and then what's your wisdom modifier?
3.
Okay, so you would add 2 and then 3 to make your total 16.
Okay.
And 16 connects.
Cool.
So now you would roll the damage for that. So you would roll a d8 plus the... Oh no, I think you just roll a d8.
Okay. Nope. Oh.
Okay, so you rolled a 4 and... sorry, what did you say your wisdom modifier was? 3?
3.
Okay, so it's 4 plus 3 because that's your wisdom modifier, so 7 damage in total.
Nice.
So you bring your staff around and you crack right across the side of the head of this creature. It tears open a chunk of flesh below its eye, and blood begins to pour down from there across the wide snout. And the creature reels from the impact, and its eyes kind of roll about in its head for a moment, and then it's barely keeping itself on its feet. So that is you've used half your movement, you've done your action, you still have a bonus action, and half your movement left.
The shillelagh was the bonus action.
Oh, you're correct. Okay, you still have half your movement left.
I run away. I go
You will
over
take an opportunity attack if you leave.
Ugh. Okay, I just stand there and I fucking hate this guy.
You fucking glare at him.
Yeah.
You stare him down. Good.
Yeah. And that's it. I'm done.
Okay. So the shaman that seems to have taken its sweet time getting towards the fight. He takes a look around the situation and decides that his best interests lie in self-preservation, and he begins to flee.
Which dude?
The guy in the top right, to the northeast.
Oh, the shaman dude.
And so he begins to flee as rapidly as he can. He is going to use a double dash, and he actually leaves he leaves the battlefield, but you can still see him. He is fleeing back in the direction that he came. All right, that guy is dead. He is so fucking dead right now. There's all kinds of dead on that guy. Okay, so the lizard folk that is now pretty much surrounded just drops to his knees and lowers his weapons and puts his hands in the air. Theon, you hear him basically beg for his life.
Am I able to say anything right now, or? I can't?
Nope, you can say something on your turn.
No. Mo's gonna kill him before that happens. I mean, that's just what's gonna
It's
happen.
funny because it's true. Yeah.
This lizard folk seemingly not giving up. It has not taken enough damage to be intimidated. Is going to rush forward and attack. He's going to attack Mindardus. And the javelin, it strikes forward, and Mindardus actually bats it out of the way with his shield, deflecting it. But the lunge forward and the jaws actually clamp down on his opposite arm, that one carrying the longsword, and you hear him cry out, "Ah!" underneath the pain of the bite.
How hurt is Mindardus?
He looks fine.
Okay.
The two lizard folk at the top. One is going to circle behind where Hosk is, and the two of them are going to let loose with all of their attacks. And they are surrounding him, so they get advantage. All right, so these two lizard folk, they move to surround Hosk, but as they do so, he seems to anticipate where their movements are coming from and positions himself accordingly. And as the two strikes come, javelins, clubs, and gnashing jaws, he seems to twist and contort his body so that they cannot seem to find any purchase. One set of jaws landing a clamp down against his forearm, but he's able to wrest his arm from it, seemingly not taking too much damage, but you can see a portion of his flesh is torn away as he rips his arm out from the jaws of one of these lizard folk. But out of 4 attacks launched against him, only the bite attack succeeds. Honos, you're up.
I want to run forward and get my dagger.
All right, you run forward and get your dagger. You pull it out of the body of this hulking creature, it's now shriveled remains of this creature. Whereas before the dagger was dwarfed by the size of this creature, it actually seems quite large now by comparison to this desiccated, dried out husk that you see curled up before you. It's all of its joints, its arms, shoulders, wrists, elbows, knees, all curled in tightly, as if something exposed to too much heat.
I'm gonna dash north. And I'm gonna throw a dagger at the closest guy.
Make an attack roll. You hurl your dagger, and as this creature, it actually happens to lunge forward at the exact moment that you were going to nail this thing in the side of the neck, and the dagger careens harmlessly across, and with a good amount of force. This would have hurt if it connected, and it just whips off into the distance, and you actually lose sight of it at the moment.
I like that dagger. Okay, I'm good.
All right. So Hosk is going to make his attacks and attempts to pummel the creature behind it, the one that just narrowly dodged your attack by biting its arm. But he's throwing his attacks in an uncoordinated manner. He's being kind of harried from both sides, so it's a little difficult for him to prioritize offense or defense, and his attacks actually bounce harmlessly off of shields or do not really connect with enough impact to do damage. Hosk kind of snarls, but stands his ground. All right, Mindardus is going to make an attack with his short sword. And he sinks it into the flesh, basically just catches a large chunk of leg. He stabs forward and pierces the thigh of this lizard folk in front of him. And does not want to change his location. Theon, you're up.
Okay. There's only the two guys that I see right in front of me, correct?
Well,
That I know
if you want to make another perception check,
No, I just want to...
you are currently
Relax.
aware of two others, and you have a line of sight on the third off to the north. You can see it attacking something.
Okay. I would like to just move one space so I can be in line of the guy right in front of Mindardus.
Yep.
And I want to talk in Draconic. And
Okay, what do you say?
I say, you, and I point to him trying to get his attention. And I ask him, and I mention the word Otum as quickly as possible, and I ask him, and I say, we need to know as much about your leader, Otum, as possible. Let us know now, and we will let you go.
Make a persuasion check.
My rolls, man. I have +7 on that.
I know.
It's so bad.
So you say this to the lizard folk, and it looks at you, and it thinks to itself for a moment, and shakes its head, and then just snarls at you and turns back towards Mindardus. Your words seemingly not having an impact on convincing it to give up or give up any information.
Yeah, and because of this, I'm kind of, a little pissed at this one too. So
Hey, that you tried to convince it. That's your action.
I know. Oh, I thought that was like
That's
like
not a bonus
okay.
action. Like yelling one word, okay, that's a bonus action.
Yep.
But trying to convince something of
Trying
your
to talk
intent,
something.
that is an action. This is 6 seconds, so you're not.
Okay. Can I
It's
scream
hard to be
the
articulated in
party?
6 seconds.
Can I scream to the party? There's a million things coming from the east.
Yes. So the party, you are informed by Theon that there is approximately 1 million things coming from the east. Everybody but Theon roll an insight check.
This is like persuasion in the worst.
So everybody is Or sorry, no. You know what? I'm gonna use the no. Hang on, roll another persuasion check.
Oh God.
This one, yeah. You know what? Just roll.
Yeah,
Just
of
roll.
course.
Even
I'm
if
just
you
gonna
had
not believe
disadvantage,
him on principle.
huh?
I'm gonna not believe him on principle.
All right. So you don't believe him on principle, but he is very, very emphatic about this. He truly believes that these things are coming. You can see it in his face. He believes this. All right. Is that the end of your turn, Theon?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Morris, you're up.
I'm much more interested in killing.
Good night,
So
sweet
I'm
lizard.
gonna step over the surrendering lizardman. Walk over to. Oh, I disappeared. There I am. Walk over to this
Oh.
one. I don't take opportunity because he's surrendering, right?
He is non-hostile to you.
Okay. And I'm gonna recklessly let loose.
All right, make your attack rolls. All right, all three connect. Okay. You turn him into sashimi. He is absolutely dead.
Ooh. We can eat him
You carve him into chunks.
for cooking.
That is how thoroughly you have defeated him.
Okay.
They are now an amassment of lizard folk pieces.
All right. Then I turn around and hover over the one surrendering.
Make an intimidation check.
Ah, shit. Is that a 6?
That is a 6. But having just watched you carve his friend into pieces, it's still a fairly effective intimidation.
Okay.
You imagine that, given that he's almost dead and already surrendered, he's probably already going to do the things you ask.
Okay.
All right, Sorwin, you're up. You are on your feet. There is a seemingly surrendering lizard folk in front of you.
And the other guy, how's the other guy doing?
You can see off to the north that the recently encountered lizard folk known as Hosk is being attacked by other lizard folk. The only easy way to distinguish them is the white coloration of Hosk's head and skull.
And this guy right in front of me is just surrendering?
He is surrendering. He is beaten, bloodied, and just kneeling down, breathing heavy. He's barely maintaining consciousness.
Well, I know that Morris would be proud of me if I killed him. But I don't know. I think we should get out of here. So I start walking away. I'm gonna just head over here, 30 feet, stay in the brush.
Okay, you're just heading west?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start like getting out of here because
Okay, so that is 30 feet to the west. And what do you do for your action? And do you do anything for your bonus action?
for my action, I'll heal Morris before I leave. Hold on, let me get before I start walking away. That's a good idea.
All right, cast your healing spell.
Let me grab. What is it? This one. Foe. I don't know how to cast it. No,
That's
it.
not a healing spell.
Yeah, that's not a healing spell. Hold on. It's this one. Right?
Yeah, what level do you cast it at?
Just one.
Okay, roll 1d8 and then add your wisdom modifier, which again is 3.
8, 3. Oh, boop. Oh yeah.
I get healed 5 points.
Yep.
I'd assume I look close to the same.
I apply a small band-aid to your wound.
There is there was a bit of discoloration on his skin from where he received a hit, and the bruising goes away. It's not bruised anymore.
It doesn't hurt. Like if you like poked it, it wouldn't hurt.
I poke
Correct.
it.
Yeah, it probably
Yeah.
wouldn't hurt if you poked it now.
Okay, and then I
And
walk
then you
30
move your
feet.
30 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and that ends your turn.
Yes.
Okay.
I gotta move my
That ends your turn, Sorwin. Move your 30 feet.
there.
Bringing out the sexy light.
The lizard folk that you saw fleeing the battle is no longer visible. And I forgot, he's dead. He was fucking massacred. All right, and the two lizard folk that are flanking Hosk are going to continue their attacks. So again, these two lizard folk let out with a series of attacks. The two snapping jaws, which happen simultaneously, Hosk seems to kind of twist his form, leaning backwards, and the lizard folk snapping for his legs misses, and the lizard folk snapping for his torso misses. As he rights himself up, the two swing their weapons around, one with a club, one with a javelin, both connect, kind of spearing and bludgeoning Hosk. All right, and that is going to end their turn. Honos, you're up.
Run up and stab the dude in the back.
Run up and stab that dude. You have advantage because you are currently flanking him. So as you run up and attempt to stab to this creature, it happens to twist in a completely by happenstance maneuver, just manages to, in its own attempts to attack Hawk, just narrowly avoid your stab attempt, and your dagger just barely misses its target.
I'm gonna go ahead and move back and get behind this tree and dash, and I'm good.
So as you are leaving, this lizard folk spins around and actually lashes out with its tail at you.
I'm not sure you can do that. as long
You
as I
have
made
to
an
connect with your
attack.
attack.
I don't
You
think I
have
have
to
to.
connect with your attack.
Let me check.
I believe you have to hit him. I don't think it's just anything you attack. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
I'll look it up. You can move on.
Okay. So we will put that on reserve. So already having been the recipient of a number of attacks, Hosk is fed up with this situation. He spins around, bringing a fist oriented to the side, so it kind of hits with the bottom of his hand and smashes against the side of the head of this creature.
It's just make an attack.
If you make a melee attack against a creature, okay, you're right. He does not take an opportunity attack. All right, so you don't take any attacks. The creature lashes out with its javelin, just barely missing you. Or no, you know what? It doesn't barely miss you. You deftly pirouette out of the way, and the blow catches nothing but air. Not even the chance of connecting. As you are stepping away and stepping behind the tree, you see Hosk spin his arm around and connect with the side of the head of the lizard folk he had attacked previously. You just see its eyes roll back in its head as it collapses into unconsciousness on its back a couple of feet away as it reels from the blow and then just collapses in a heap. All right, Mindardus is going to put his shield and short sword away. Oh, I am on the wrong card. That might be why. And he is going to taking a range on his enemy, realizing it's just out of range, actually puts away the short bow, pulling out the longer weapon and notching an arrow from his quiver, pulling backwards and firing at the remaining lizard folk it can see. Ooh,
Wow.
Was
So
that a
this lizard-
120?
Hmm?
Was that a 120?
he got a natural 20. And rolled the best he possibly could on his damage dice for the crit. So he readies an arrow, reaches back, and you can see with the practice precision of someone who has done this literally thousands of times, in between the heartbeats, lets the arrow go. It careens through the air and without making a sound embeds itself into the spine of this lizard folk that just arches its back in shock and pain. It doesn't even make a sound, it just reels from the impact. Theon, you're up.
Okay. So the one in front of Morris is still alive, yes?
It is still alive. It is basically kneeling down on the ground now. Its hands are up in the air. It is not moving and not
Was
a
that
threat.
the guy that initially hurt me?
Yeah, oh, it definitely was.
Yes, cool. Looking at him, I get a little pissed.
Okay.
And I remember what happened, and I'm gonna spend a sorcerer point to do
Okay.
a twin spell,
What spell are you twinning?
firebolt.
So you get to just cast 2 firebolts?
Oh wait, I have to target another guy. Never mind.
What?
It says when you cast a spell that targets only one creature and doesn't have a range of self, you can spend a number of sorcery points to target a second creature in range, unless if I can target the same one.
You can target the same one.
Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna do that.
All right. I mean, technically, I don't think sorcery points work with cantrips, but I'm going to allow you to do
They
that.
do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Okay.
it says 1 sorcery point if the spell is a cantrip.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you expend your 1 sorcery point and you cast your 2 firebolts, make you 2 attack rolls.
These things called damage does not like me today.
So, as this creature is kneeling down, it has surrendered. It is not putting up any kind of resistance. It looks up out of the corner of its eye as it catches a glint of light. And as it looks up, there is Theon with both arms outstretched and coalesced in both palms, with his hands open, are 2 bundles of red, orange, yellow energy. And with a small grin that peels up out of the corners of his mouth, he stares at this lizard folk, which then opens its eyes wide in realization as to what's about to happen. And you hear it start the beginning of, "No!" and then it's just blown away. Morris, you are covered in charred lizard folk gore, as basically the top third of its body is just exploded in a conflagration of flesh, bone, and flame.
Cook lizards on the menu, boys. I wonder if Hoska's gonna want some of this.
All right, that lizard folk is dead. All right, that was your action. You haven't used your movement yet. I don't think you've used
I-
your bonus action, unless
I've
sorcery
used-
points count as
I-
that.
I've used some movement, and no, sorcery points don't. But
They're a free action.
yeah, it's just
Okay.
something that happens. Like I can actually use sorcery points to be able to cast another spell as a bonus.
Oh,
action.
as a bonus action. Yes, you're right.
But
Okay.
I don't believe I have that one anyway.
Okay, so actions down. Movement is partially used. Bonus actions available.
I'm good.
Okay, you just end your turn?
Yep.
All right, you end your turn. Morris, you're up. The lizard folk that was surrendering and prostrate in front of you is now partially scattered across you, and there is a smoking corpse that is at your feet.
The lizard folk I wanted to question got exploded.
Now lays dead at your feet.
Well,
Its life extinguished by...
I'll just sit down and try to calm down before I attack Drek.
Who's Drac? All right, so Morris sits down and begins to just kind of breathe in a slow, heavy manner, resting his weapon still at the ready across his arm or across his legs as he begins to just focus and try to bring himself out of the rage.
And that's my turn.
All right, Sorwin, you're up.
Let's see. So there's only one lizard folk left.
Yes, and you currently do not have line of sight on him.
And are there more coming? Did we establish that? Do we know?
Theon told you that there are up to thousands of creatures that are approaching. You're not sure you believe him?
Okay.
Because it might be kind of hard to conceal thousands of something in this forest. It would be kind of obvious.
I thought he
Yeah.
said
Or very
millions.
difficult for it to move.
Millions. Yeah. I mean, even if he's 1/10 off of millions.
And we'd probably hear it too.
Yeah.
Man, he said that with conviction.
Yeah. I don't. I peer out to the north to see if there's any sort of more dense cover we could move to, so to like maybe to hide to get out of here.
Make a perception check.
Oh god damn it!
So as you look out towards the north, you don't notice anything that would establish itself as very good cover. But as you look out across it, you do see that, receding from the cliff face, like at the face of the cliff, there's a lot of broken and jagged rock, and then there is kind of barren landscape, and then the trees begin to kind of reassert themselves. They exist in small clusters, and as they go further and further north, they begin to congregate into more distinct clusters and larger open plains between them. So you could head towards some of the trees further north, but as far as cover is concerned, you will have periods where you will be hard to see and periods where you'll be very easy to see. But you could theoretically move kind of from cluster to trees to cluster of trees.
Where's the camp? Do we know where that is? Like to the that's to the east.
From where you are, it is the northeast. So it is significantly further north than it is east from you. But you would have to eventually move a little bit in the eastern direction. Not very far, but you got to go a lot further north to encounter this. It was
So
in
what
a
are these
noticeable
then?
clearing of trees.
These are just like random patrols. Okay.
Well, I rolled for random encounters last time, and I rolled a 1, so that's worst case scenario.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was even a thing.
It's a thing that I do.
No, it's cool. Yeah. I just wait for Honos to kill this guy, and then we can discuss what we're gonna do.
All right.
I killed the guy.
Okay.
Well, he takes his attack against Hosk first. Honos, you do hear him say something to Hosk in a language you don't understand, but it sounds aggressive and vicious and hurtful.
Hurtful? Oh.
And as he lunges forward with this club, he catches right against one of the on the outside edge of the knee of Hosk, and you see his leg almost buckle in, and you can hear him call out in pain, and you can see the grimace in his face, and that hit must have really hurt. But he pushes his knee back into proper position and maintains his stance and is not shaken by this. It is your turn, Honos.
I stab.
You stab away. Make your attack roll. You have advantage because you are flanking him.
I don't stab.
You actually aim for exactly the same spot as before with your dagger, thinking like, okay, I got it this time. And once again, in an unexpected movement as a result of his engagement with Hosk, his body contorts, and the dagger once again narrowly misses its meaty target. If it had connected, it would have been good.
I go back.
And you go back and you are unmolested because he cannot make a reaction attack against you.
Okay, I'm good.
Alrighty. As you are disappearing behind the tree, as you are walking away, you hear the heavy sound of bone against bone, and then the thud and escape of air of an unconscious lizard folk as it flops against the ground. You didn't see the attack occur, but you just heard the heavy impacts. And as you turn around, you see Hosk is kind of rubbing one elbow, and you imagine that he probably hit this thing really, really hard. And there are now 2 unconscious lizard folk as a result of Hosk's beating. Actually, you know what? Let me.
I'm gonna yell to the rest of the group, we need to get out of here soon. I go search for my dagger.
Okay, make a perception check. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and all of y'all, you decide what you're gonna do.
I might go to the bathroom too.
Dragon needs to finish his poop.
I find my dagger.
That's fun, huh?
I'm gonna vote that I do like pass without trace, and we start infiltrating.
I vote we take naps because I now level 2
Oh, okay.
exhaustion.
That's cool. We should hide and take naps.